You don't know the power of the dark side.
What's up, guys? MistPass here, back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary video, and I am finally getting back to my roster review videos, and this time we are talking about B2 Super Battle Droid. B2 Super Battle Droid is a droid tank, and he is pretty slow, 105 base speed, but he does have a very good base potency and a very, very good base tenacity. If you're looking at it right there, you see that he has a 39% base tenacity at max gear. His physical damage numbers there are a little misleading. He doesn't hit very hard at all, and his base physical crit chance is actually really low. His two other main stats that you want to worry about, since he's a tank, are armor and resistance, which he's got plenty of. He's actually one of the top ranked characters when it comes to resistance, so that's really nice. Between his armor, resistance, his tenacity, he actually is able to take quite a beating, which is definitely something you want from a character like B2. His basic attack is Heavy Arms. It deals physical damage to a target enemy and inflicts evasion down for 2 turns. The Omega is a 15% damage increase, nothing to call home about. His special ability, Mow Down, this is his moneymaker. He deals physical damage to all enemies and dispels all positive status effects on them, with a 65% chance to also inflict buff immunity for 2 turns. It's important to note that the buff immunity is inflicted before damage is applied. The reason being is that you have a chance of applying buff immunity before knocking a character down to 50% health, which would prevent an enemy Royal Guard from gaining taunt. His unique ability is Relentless Barrage, and it really makes up for his lack of speed. B2 has a 40% chance to gain 100% turn meter whenever another ally is evaded or damaged by an attack. That procs a lot, like a lot, which means that you can sacrifice a speed stat on your arrow mod for protection. Protection is one of the best stats to look for on your mods because his base potency is really high, and potency gets a much higher increase from mods than health does. Crit chance is another very important stat to look for if you're running him under HK 47 leader. Otherwise, you can look for potency to make sure that that buff immunity gets landed. Although he does have good base potency, so it's not that imperative that you grab a lot of potency mods. His shards are only found on the Cantina table, Battle 6D, so that means for all of you newer players, you're not going to be able to get him for a while, but he is a magnificent addition to any squad. It doesn't matter if you're running him with droids, if you're running him with Emperor Palpatine, if you're running him with wigs. He is a great character to put on pretty much any squad because of this ability. With how few characters there are in the game that can take away buffs, it's nice to have a character like B2 Super Battle Droid who can not only take away buffs, but also has the ability to get a lot of additional turns, reducing the cooldown on that buff removal ability. I mean, look at that, how fast he was able to do that right again. And then also, he can take a beating. Now, granted, he doesn't do really much damage at all, and that's one of the main reasons that you do want to put crit chance on him, especially if you're running with droids, but he is almost always going to be the last man standing on your squad. Jumping off topic here for a second, I hinted in one of my previous videos that I had some awesome news to share with you guys. I have been invited by EA to go out to their headquarters in Redwood Shores, just south of San Francisco, California, to meet with the development team and Jesse and the whole crew, a handful of other YouTubers, all to discuss Galaxy of Heroes. Now, there are going to be opportunities to live stream, so if I have the opportunity, I will try and get a live stream out there. I'll be tweeting you guys the time to get online if you want to participate in that. However, I'm not particularly equipped for live streaming. I do all of my game capturing, video editing, and recording all off my phone, so I'm pretty low-key, low-tech when it comes to that kind of stuff, but if there are other YouTubers willing to invite me in on their live stream, I know that Arnold T101 is one of the guys I talk to. He's going to be out there live streaming, so I might try and jump in on his live stream if he'll permit me. Mobile Gamer's going to be out there, so I'm pretty stoked to be participating with some of the bigger names in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes YouTube community to actually get some real good feedback from the developers and actually hopefully get you guys some good info. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to just lay out everything that's coming out, but it's really awesome opportunity, and I'm really excited to be going out there and meeting with the dev team. So if you guys have any questions that you want me to ask the dev team specifically, I've already got a sheet about a mile long from my guildmates who I told about this a while back, and I'd like to extend that opportunity to all of you, my subscribers. So if you aren't already following me on Twitter, please do. I'll be looking to Twitter to try and get some of those questions to ask the dev team. Of course, I'll also be looking at the comments on this video and my other videos, but let's get back to B2. Obviously, from the gameplay you've been watching, he does not hit hard at all. So it's real easy if he is the last man standing, and this goes for when you're fighting against him as well. If you leave him for the last man standing, you're probably going to be able to knock him out. His gear isn't that hard. He does require 4 pieces of raid gear, but it's 2 droid collars and 2 security scanners. Arguably 2 of the easier pieces of gear, but it's still 4 pieces of raid gear. B2 Super Battle Droid is one of the few characters that you can put on your squad at 4 and 5 stars and immediately have an impact. Even at 4 and 5 stars, he has enough health and protection to keep him from getting killed outright right off the bat, and really all of his value comes from his abilities. His ability to constantly be gaining turn meter, and his ability to strip the enemy team of their buffs and also inflict buff immunity. Now, B2 shards became available to farm at the same time as Wedge Antilles. The biggest question that I see a lot of people asking is, should I farm Wedge or should I farm B2? They're both found on the same stage of Cantina battles, stage 6, with Wedge being on 6F as opposed to B2 being found on 6D. Personally, I think B2 is the far more versatile character. Wedge is very niche. He's very good with rebels and he's very good with bigs, but B2 is the better all-around character. With the introduction of Shoretrooper, who has taunt from the get-go, and other characters that have a lot of buffs that they divvy out to their teammates, B2's ability to strip the enemy squad of all their buffs and also apply buff immunity in the same turn is priceless. That about sums it up for B2, guys. If you have any questions or want to know anything else about him that I didn't cover, please ask in the comments below, or you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And if you missed my last roster review, it was on Chief Nebbit. I know it was a little while ago. We had a lot going on between now and then, but you can click the annotation on screen to be taken to that. And as always, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and I will catch you later.